All right, so let me see. This week, it's been a minute. Look at that. I got poor 15 on me. I don't know how the hell I got that much on me, but I sure did. And that's after scrubbing in the shower real good. Shit doesn't come off. All right, so this week, what are we going to cover? New normal. There we go. That's I think a subject that everybody can bite off on and understand. And then just stuff around the shop. We're on a stall on the Healy project right now. I like working for Brian. I like working with Brian. He pushes me. And updates on smoking. Seems how you can see me not lighting a cigarette. Most of my wheeze I was developing has gone away. All right, so let's start with shop work. Healy's stalled out. I gotta go to storage and pick up stuff. My lead cart is there, and I'm going to define all my door gaps and edges and everything with lead. Because you don't do that with plastic filler, and I could spend a week sorting it out with welding and metal and all that. I think it's time just to fill it with some lead, get the gaps too tight, file it down, make them perfect. Give me good straight lines. Lead comes in when you've done less than exemplary metal work. I'm upset by that fact. I'm capable of exemplary metal work. So, such as little quick cash project was I sectioned in rockers on a Silverado. Big old, 6 feet of rocker panel to section in. Not a perfect scenario, but it was one I couldn't pull the doors, I couldn't pull the front end, I couldn't move the box. That costs a lot more. It is a truck, it is body on frame. So I may have reluctance sectioning in rocker, but I'm not gonna go, oh, this is gonna kill somebody. Unibody car, I don't cut into that, especially modern cars. Or I should say, modern unibody cars I won't cut into. Give me something from the 60s, whatever. An X chassis or something like that, an F body, no biggie. I'll cut them up, put them back together. Not efficient. I think I'm at a point now that I need to start thinking about a helper. Why? Why do I want to deal with more fucking people? Having someone to work with makes me a little more attentive. And I've got a guy right now I've got my sights on. He was in my shop before. He left out. Don't mind the furnace is kicking on. He was one of two guys that didn't totally hump my leg on the way out the door, and we've been talking over the last couple months. And there's another prospect or two out there of possibility, but this fellow in function, he's a helper. He's not a journeyman level, he's not a body man, he's a helper at this point, but I think he could become a really functional asset in the shop, in this shop, quickly. But here's why I'm looking at this fellow in general. He's a vet, and he's got issues. When he worked for me previously, he didn't address those issues. He is now. He's gone out and sought help. Professional clinical assistance in his life to get sorted out a little bit. I think it'd do him good. And furthermore, I think it wouldn't do him anything harmful to get away from the people, places, activities, friends that he was crutching upon. They were assisting in his self-abuses. I don't know his full story. I didn't ask him. He told me enough to garner the information I need. Like I said, he's genuine people. And I may invite him out on a part-time deal just to get away from the city. And if he can show me he's worth a shit in 30 days, 60 days, I'll put a box together and say, this is your shit, take care of it. In 6 months, in a year, whatever, it's yours. If you leave before then, you can fuck off. I've done that with a couple guys. It doesn't work out all the time. But like I said, I think he's one person that's worth helping. I don't know. I don't think he's beyond help. And he didn't screw me over on the way out the door, so there's that. So that's the shop. I'm pulling on little stuff here and there where I can. I've been trying to pull on motorcycles. I like doing motorcycles because if it's not perfect, you can scrub it and start over. And you're out time. I'm interested in finding perfection in my craft. And if all I'm out is time, shit, no big deal. I've wasted more paint than what goes on most motorcycles. I've been a huge flagship MIPA guy, and I love the products. The support's not there. Man, I had this dieback, or I had this D-lam, or I had an issue of, oh man, that sucks. You need to buy another gallon of clear? And I don't put that on my main MIPA guy. It's just how that operation is set up. But the support is not there. I got a mixing bank from BASF, and as per my agreement there, and it makes money sense for me why I went that route. And I'm familiar with BASF, I'm familiar with Limco, but why it makes sense is I was able to get into a bank without a huge sum of money. But there's always that caveat with BASF. I'm supposed to use all BASF liquids. I am transitioning to that, and I'll use probably 90% of BASF liquids. The other stuff will be whatever I need to shoot something affordably for someone. Or in a supplement capacity to BASF liquids that I haven't found a product in their lineup that I can stand behind. I warranty my own shit. It's nice if you use a system all the way through that has support. BASF does, because they'll pay your material bill and they'll pay your labor bill to do something over if you followed their instructions. So that's a thought. Work on transitioning over to that. So, I mean, if you're all in a spot you need a color, let me know. Let me see what I can do. I don't know what shipping is, but the one luxury I've got here is I've got a fellow who's working on getting a bank similar to mine, and he was able to come out and we tinted a color. I mixed the color off formula and we tinted it for him. We spent an hour tinting. I didn't charge him much shit to tint it. I probably used as much in liquid as what I charged him extra. But it was a really good lesson in practical chemistry on the mixing bank for me, because I'm green. You mix off a formula, that's not a problem. But when you're trying to shift the color, it changes things. So that's kind of that in a nutshell as far as the shop goes. I'm not as efficient as I used to be. I need to find that fuel again. I need to find something that fires me up, because I can stay fed and comfortable at the meager pace I'm at. That might be a problem. I have to figure out how to want more again. Getting over this year of losses, it will take time, but I'll get back. These little things. I smoke too many of these, but I haven't had a cigarette in over 2 weeks. And with these, the nicotine content, all the bad shit, smoking, there you go. It's lesser. And these taste like hell after a while, so I don't want any more. So it has a tendency to trim itself back. I had all but quit once and fucked it up. And I use these little cigars as that stepping stone to less nicotine. But my awful wheeze is gone that I was developing with smoking way too many cigarettes, spending way too much money on cigarettes. And so that helps. That's the personal side of things. I'm working on it. By the end of the month, I want to be down to just one of these a day for now. 5 of them. That'll be about half what I'm doing now. By the end of December, I want to get the little 2-pack that's got 10, and I want that to last me damn near a week. Morning coffee cigar. That's my goal. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. We're tightening things up for the weather to come in. I'm organizing the shop. I got to go to storage and get stuff pulled out of there. I need to get my storage emptied, so I'm not paying that every month. Get it in the garage, but the garage is a fucking mess because I got to clean up the basement because it's a mess. I plan on spending some quality time in and under the house, in the garage and under the house this week, sorting stuff out so I can pull all my storage home. That way it's all here. I've got the Fury on the rotisserie. So here in the next couple of weeks, I will be cleaning up the undercarriage, firewall, getting it painted red. So that's good. No, what I was talking about, new normal. That's really the last thing I want to broach on. Like I said, it's not a woe is me tale. It's a humans react differently to different stimuli. And anytime we get thrown a curve, we've got to stand back and reallocate, I guess, is the best term for it. We've got to renegotiate our minds, our thought processes. It's been almost 2 months since Mom left us. And processing that's been hard. It's reality, but it's been difficult processing that. So I've had some issue there that I'm working out. And then just everything I moved the shop back home. That was a blow. To realize I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't run a larger facility anymore. I couldn't bring it to the level of standing I needed it to come to at that scope. So I had to align my ideals there. And then we got notice that we had to move. So we moved the fuck out of Des Moines entirely. Um, it's been humbling. And we had a setback on the Healy situation. That was on me. That's been humbling. And it makes me look at things a little differently. It makes me look at life a little differently, too. But it's been difficult. I don't think this is the new standard. I think I'll lift my ceiling yet again. But I got to get over this. I'm back to fretting about everything. I'm back to overthinking everything. I'm back to knee-jerk getting angry about everything. I think I held too much of my personal identity in that shop. And letting that go was an ego bust. And it's okay. We got to keep ego in check anyhow. And then, my mom and I were close. We weren't let me see. I wasn't hanging on the apron strings close, but we were close. And I don't think I left anything unsaid. I don't think she left anything terribly unsaid. There's always something. When you can't go back and readdress the subject with a person, you always discover there's something. But that's where it's at. That's where I'm at. My headspace is cluttered and I'm tired. And I think I'm a little depressed. And I have to put that in a perspective because there's damn good reason to be down. There's damn good reason to be depressed. But there's so many other reasons to be excited and elated and inspired. And I'm trying to get around that. I wish it weren't going into winter. That would help. Seasonal affective disorder is a thing. This time of year makes my body hurt. Why don't I move somewhere it's nicer? Well, I like all four seasons. I need all four seasons changing. So that's it. That's the shop. That's the nutshell. I am digging this paint system. I learned that I can mix. I can mix up 5 different lines off of that one bank for Lemco, and I can mix up like a 1K single stage, which is very similar to the old lacquer. At very least, the old enamel. So if someone has a Survivor and they just need it, PDR and some chips filled and polished out to bring it back, I can actually do that in relative good form. I got single stage both in a urethane enamel and acrylic enamel. It even has a direct to metal binder, so I can make tractor paint. I can literally make formula made tractor paint direct to metal, and then of course your base coat, clear coat lines. And it's neat. I'm digging it. I've sold off a little bit of paint. I've mixed up quite a bit of paint for me on little projects that I'm doing for folks. I've got to learn how to shift colors to tint to taste. But I think for now I'm going to let y'all go. I'm going to get in here, get the running boards on this truck, get some blemishes polished out, get it back to this guy. It's 2 days late. I need to get it back to this guy. I'll talk to y'all later.